Welcome back to CareCast, the podcast from Caresoft, the trusted government IT solutions provider. Subscribe to get the latest technology updates in the public sector. I'm Anthony Jimenez, your host from the Caresoft production team. On behalf of Google, Onyx, TeleApp, and Caresoft, we would like to welcome you to today's podcast, focused around modernizing municipal government operations through cloud technology. Mayor Derek Armstead of the City of Linden, Josh from TeleApp, and Caitlin Calvi from Onyx will discuss how the City of Linden successfully transitioned from legacy systems to Google Workspace for government, the impact of cloud-based collaboration on municipal efficiency, and the role of technology in strengthening cybersecurity and operational resilience.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. I'm going to start off with a question for Mayor Armstead. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, first of all, let me thank you for inviting me to participate in your podcast. I was born and raised in Linden. Of course, this is my hometown, and I'm very passionate about it and love it deeply. My grandparents first came to Linden back in 1927, so our family's been in town here for close to a century. I'm married. I have 5 children. My wife, Danny, she's director of multilingual learners in Linden Public School District. My oldest daughter is 36. My next daughter is 27. My wife and I have 2 twin boys also who are 19. And we have an 18-year-old daughter also, and it's hard to believe she's 18 years old already. As far as my professional career, I started out working at a small company called BH&P back in 1980, where we were using computers to manufacture credit cards. And from there, I went to Prudential. From 1983 to 1996, I worked in operations in their telecommunications division. So I also worked at the Newark Board of Education for a year. Then in 1998, I started working for Union County's, the county's technology department, focusing on information technology and network engineering.
Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself. And Josh, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself as well?
Absolutely. First off, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and to speak about our relationship with Caresoft, with Onyx, and with Google, and of course with the City of Linden. I've been in the tech industry for over 20 years. I hold a bachelor's of science in sociology with a concentration on data analytics and human behavior pathologies. I have a master's of science in cybersecurity operations and leadership from the University of San Diego. Teleapp was founded in 2012. As a company, we provide information technology and information security support services to local government organizations, which include municipalities, school districts, authorities, libraries, and some other smaller government organizations. In my personal life, I'm happily married. I have 4 children. My wife, Eliana, is an attorney, and she's currently a partner at Fox Rothschild. I have a 22-year-old daughter, and I have 3 boys, ages 16, 13, and 5.
Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself. We can go ahead and kind of get into the question portion of this. So, Mayor Armstead, can you please share a little bit about how you view technology importance as it pertains to municipal governance?
In my opinion, technology is the backbone of any modern municipal governance. It enables us to reimagine how local government organizations can operate and how we can engage with our residents and deliver superior services. So Linden particularly, we transitioned from an outdated legacy platform to what we refer to as the Google Workspace for government, and it revolutionized how Linden operates. This cloud-based collaboration, the tools eliminate what I can refer to as partitions or silos between departments. Like I say, you reduce document processing times, I would say close to 40%. And it really enables like a real-time coordination during critical projects. Employees can now successfully or securely access resources remotely. That in turn will accelerate decision-making and reduces downtime. And like for residents, this particular shift translates into things like faster permit approvals. It streamlines communications with the staff. It just helps out overall for residents. And so technology really has helped the City of Linden become more efficient by streamlining the operations, reducing some of the bureaucracies. It's cost saving, and it optimizes on our resource allocation.
So, another question for the mayor. Can you tell us why you were such a strong advocate of migrating the City of Linden's legacy technology infrastructure to the cloud? And then also why you chose Google Workspace for government as your solution as well?
So again, migrating the Linden's aging technology infrastructure to the cloud was really a strategic imperative, what I would refer to future-proof our operations, okay? And at the same time, you're really safeguarding your public trust and you're empowering your workforce amid what we refer to as some really unprecedented challenges that we have to deal with today. So we understood as a government organization, this migration was going to be just as much about embracing a new philosophy in which technology kind of like serves as a bridge between government and our residents. As much as the platform power itself, Google Workspace was and remains an ideal solution for us and probably many other organizations.
Thank you. And kind of going off of that, can you elaborate a little as to anything specific about Google Workspace that made it the obvious solution for Linden?
Absolutely. Google Workspace for Government emerged as a solution for Linden because it addressed three critical priorities: cost, efficiency, and I would refer to it, the third thing is operational agility. There was what I would refer to as also intuitive accessibility, and migrating from a fragmented legacy system to a unified cloud platform. It enabled us to eliminate some real crazy and exorbitant licensing fees that I thought they were unnecessary. So it reduced our maintenance cost. It helped us eliminating the aging server room where we have all this hardware and ongoing maintenance and replacement costs. And in turn, we were able to redirect those savings towards our what we call our frontline services, such as public safety and the city infrastructure upgrades. The platform's seamless integration of tools such as Docs, Sheets, and Meet really helped with our being able to have what I refer to as real-time collaboration across various teams in the city. But what really set it apart was the fact that our employees gave us no friction, regardless of the technical expertise. This very user-friendly interface from its inception minimized training time, and it really maximized the productivity.
Thank you. And now, kind of going over to Josh, can you tell us why you recommended Google Workspace to the City of Linden as opposed to any other cloud solutions available?
Sure thing. Well, first off, I agree with everything the mayor just said, and for those reasons to start with. But Google Workspace brings a very elegant balance to administering both information technology and information security. One of Teliap's charter philosophies is this concept of balance. Information technology is all about productivity, giving team members the tools that they need in order to be as productive as possible. Whereas information security is all about safety, making sure that the team members are always safe when using that digital infrastructure. But the challenge that I think everyone encounters is developing this really nice balance between productivity and safety. So to be as productive as possible, for example, on one extreme, one might want to completely disengage any safety protocols, right? Because safety tends to slow things down. And just to be as safe as possible, for example, on another extreme, one might want to just completely disconnect from the internet, right? So neither of these solutions can obviously ever work. And so the challenge for information technology and for cybersecurity teams is working together in a way that achieves the best balance between productivity and safety. In fact, one of the words of our company, tele, which is part of our company's name, it's an ancient word that at its core means balance. It's represented by the constellation Draco, which is in the shape of a dragon, which is why our company mascot is a dragon. In my professional opinion, Google Workspace offers professionals both on the information technology side and on the information security side of the technology field, all of the tools that they need to work together as a cohesive team to develop the balance that works best for the organization that they support. That's really why we chose Google Workspace.
Thank you, Josh. And going back over to the mayor, what was the IT and cybersecurity outlook before TeleApp became your technology solution provider?
Okay, this will be a real short answer because there's not much to say. It was awful. When I took office, it was painfully obvious that our legacy systems were fragmented, insecure, and ill-equipped to meet what I would refer to as some of our modern demands. Now, you compound this, we had a pandemic, and that really exposed some glaring vulnerabilities. So our staff lacked remote access, collaboration tools were virtually non-existent, and our former technology vendor did not understand our needs. It was a complete and total mess.
Thank you, Mayor. So going back to Josh, you mentioned earlier about creating a balance between IT and InfoSec. In your experience working with local government organizations, does leadership often understand the critical differentiations between information technology and information security?
So, for organizations that still have a persistent legacy style platform, in general, no, they do not understand the differences between IT and information security. But in their defense, it's partially because of the way technology and the way we use that technology has evolved over the last 2 decades. Security used to be a subset of IT, right? The IT department would make sure that their hardware and software was set up in a certain way. And for the most part, the security component was fairly static, with only occasional changes needing to be made. But that world is long gone. When I first meet with new leadership and try to explain why IT and cyber have to be treated as two different departments, I try to parallel to something that might be easier to understand. So I like to compare the responsibilities of an IT team to that of an executive concierge in a building, ensuring smooth, productive operations, basic security, such as locking and unlocking doors, routing packages to the correct destination, and making certain that guests only have access to authorized locations within the building. With InfoSec professionals, on the other hand, I like to compare them to armed security guards trained to deter and ultimately defend against serious security threats and breaches. So, just as a building concierge would not be on the front lines defending against an armed assailant, so too a member of the IT team is not the ideal candidate to defend against cybersecurity threats. IT focuses primarily on productivity, whereas InfoSec primarily focuses on security. InfoSec protects against high risk scenarios, and this makes both roles critical, yet distinct for ensuring organizational resilience.
Thank you, Josh. Another question for the mayor. What was it about TeleApp that made you ultimately decide to choose them as your technology solution provider?
Okay, now we were looking for more than just a vendor. We were looking for a partner, someone who could deliver not only technical expertise, but also shared values, including a commitment to local investment. And of course, we need a rapid deployment and we need a seamless continuity. Just so you know, I have a background in IT. I think I mentioned that earlier. I approached this decision with much scrutiny, knowing that technology evolves rapidly, and I prioritize partnering with experts who could translate the vision into action. So basically, during discussions with Josh and TeleApp's leadership, particularly Josh, they had a solutions-oriented approach, which basically included tailoring Google Workspace into our unique workflows, addressing the cyber security gaps, and prioritizing some sort of user-friendly design, and all demonstrated a deep understanding of municipal government complexities. So beyond the technical merits, it was TeleApp's proactive, can-do attitude that basically sealed our confidence in them.
Going off of that, can you discuss a little bit how technology helped the city of Linden during the pandemic?
Absolutely. It enabled what I would refer to as a seamless transition to remote work. There was reduction in IT-related service delays, increased defenses against cyber threats. In fact, during COVID, our city website, which was also developed and is maintained by TeleApp, won the Agency Showcase Award for website by the New Jersey Recreation and Park Association because of how our parks and recreation departments enable resources and allow people to go into virtual camps. And I personally believe that vendors need to be stakeholders in the town's success. That award is one example of how well I refer to a stakeholder and our city can work well and deeply with leadership within our government organization.
Thank you. And going back to Josh, when TeleApp works with a government agency, can you talk about what that means, stakeholder and success of that agency?
It really means always just being on, always thinking about what they need now and doing your best to future-proof their investments. But you also have to make sure that you're mindful of your audience. So when you introduce or discuss any technical topic, you have to present it on multiple levels because you're speaking with experts in different fields. So first, you need a high-level explanation, answering the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, why, and how, in simple, non-technical terms. But you also need to prepare that very technical explanation for any on-site technology teams that are participating in the discussions or the decision-making process. And of course, you need to make sure that the return on investment, or the ROI, is clear and demonstrable. Our presentations always address productivity, security, and we're super sensitive to the budget of that local government organization with which we're working. But just as in any personal relationship, professional relationships require honest and ongoing proactive communication to build any kind of meaningful and long-lasting relationship.
Talking about relationships, can you tell us a little bit about your experience working with Carasoft and Onyx?
Absolutely. The quick answer is that it's been nothing short of amazing. The easiest ROI, in fact, to explain is financial. Partnering with Carasoft and Onyx enabled Teleapp to deliver a discount to the City of Linden that we would not have been able to do on our own for the monthly, subscription costs. Both Carasoft and Onyx are also very proactive, which we really do appreciate. For example, when Google Workspace fees, they're changing over the next month or so, and the moment after Google made those announcements, I don't think there was even a minute between that time that I read that article and then I saw an email from Carasoft and Onyx reaching out to me about renewing the city's Google Workspace licenses now, rather than waiting until the original renewal date, so that we could just lock in those rates for the city. On a technical side, if and when we ever encounter any kind of technical challenges or become aware of a new feature that Google plans to deploy, an Onyx team member is always on it, offering to help and discuss it on a deep level with us.
We also have Caitlin from Onyx on with us today. Caitlin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, my name is Caitlin. I've been with Onyx Networking for a little over 3 years. I work there as a sales support specialist for public sector and EDU accounts across the U.S. I was born and raised outside of Cleveland, Ohio, where I still happily reside with my 2 beautiful children. I used to work in the public school system, so being able to provide efficient, secure, and cost-effective solutions to these typical accounts mean a great deal to me. And although I've been in the Google atmosphere for a short period of time compared to others, my knowledge and appreciation for this platform just continue to grow.
Thank you, Caitlin. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience working with Teleapp and the City of Linden?
Absolutely. They have been easy to collaborate with and an absolute pleasure to work with. We are all aware of the continuing changes in this industry, so to have adaptable and approachable partners in these situations is a significant asset. Carasoft, Teleapp, and Onyx have the shared goal of providing the best possible solution and experience for our customers. We empower government agencies to modernize their infrastructure, streamline processes, which the mayor has previously mentioned, and enhance data security, and this is all by leveraging the full potential of Google Workspace. In this instance, we are all aligned in prioritizing the best interests of the City of Linden. So our experience transitioning the city to Onyx was exceptionally smooth. Teleapp was an important component in making this happen efficiently and have been transparent with the requirements, so it has made our efforts very seamless. We have already accomplished so much in the last few years, so I'm very excited to see where this leads us in the future.
Thank you, Caitlin. And I think we have time for one last question, and this one will be for Josh. So, considering your background, tell us, what do you believe are the biggest challenges you face when wearing your cybersecurity hat, protecting the City of Linden and other local government organizations from threats, and how Google Workspace, Caresoft, and Onyx, as your partners, have helped keep your clients safe and productive?
Sure thing. So to start, you'd have the same challenges that you'd have with any technical project. You identify a need, outline the requirements, and then you have a basic understanding of the resources required to bring that project to fruition. Sometimes there just aren't enough financial resources to execute every great idea, but that's just par for the course. But those aren't truly the biggest challenges. In my professional opinion, the greatest ongoing challenge we face when wearing our cybersecurity hats, at least, and by extension, the greatest ongoing challenge that all network defenders face, is ensuring that our teams are always ahead of the curve. Every week we're challenged as we learn about new threats, new social engineering tactics, and devise ways to defend against those threats and tactics. There is also an unprecedented amount of information that needs to be absorbed by our InfoSec team. Staying ahead of the curve becomes a job in and of itself. As a company, we meet this challenge head on by ensuring that our information security team members strike a balance between their actual never-ending workload, reading daily through a myriad of threat intelligence feeds, and prioritizing their own professional development. So we offer financial incentives for our team members to pursue relevant certifications in their division. And we celebrate certification achievements with company parties. And part of that ceremony includes proudly hanging copies of their certifications on walls in our headquarters, which serves as a friendly but competitive leaderboard. Google, in our experience, is also always ahead of the curve. They're constantly innovating. They're coming out with new features and mechanisms, not only to obtain data, but also ways for us to quickly digest and use that data in a meaningful way, usually with a new way to defend against a threat. Google's architecture emphasizes zero trust principles and automated patching, which saves our team members countless hours, which is a commodity always in high demand. Regarding Carasoft and Onyx, both of them, in our experience, are also ahead of the curve. From a procurement standpoint, they're definitely versatile. Their product engineers and their team leader is always accessible. It's been a very healthy, strong, and overwhelmingly positive engagement. Well, we couldn't be happier.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you for all of our speakers today. That brings us to the end of today's podcast. Thank you for tuning in and taking the time to listen. If you enjoyed this conversation or found it insightful, feel free to share it with others who might benefit from it as well. And if you have any thoughts or questions, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for listening, and thank you to our guests, Mayor Derek Armstead, Josh from TeleApp, and Caitlin Calvi from Onyx. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Caracast, and be sure to listen to our other discussions. If you'd like more information on how Google, Onyx, and TeleApp can assist your organization, please visit our microsite, www.carasoft.com/Google, or email Elise Conroy at elise.conroy@carasoft.com. Thanks again for listening, and have a great day.